So I think I had the wonkiest route to my final career. It took me a long time to actually figure out what I wanted to do. And I'm really pleased that I had the route I had. There's nothing wrong with not knowing what you want to do as a career when you're younger. That said, when I was a teenager, I was very envious of friends that knew what they wanted to do. If they wanted to be a doctor or a dentist, I felt it was great to have that whole career and that whole plan mapped out for them. So when I left university, I went straight into politics. That was my degree. I absolutely loved politics. It's so interesting and it's really relevant in the world. But once I got into Westminster, and I was working in the Palace of Westminster for 2 MPs, it wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. And you get pulled into a lot of admin. You're doing speech writing. It kind of didn't have the dynamism that I was looking for from a career. So from there I went to be a data analyst. That was really interesting, very intellectual. You're looking at big sets of data, you're doing really exciting projects, flying to Milan to talk to Levi's, to talk about their new product launch of a new jeans that they're launching, or working for Unilever. And in that career path, I covered off very many areas, but I had a fantastic boss who recognised my talent for more of sort of the marketing, business development and PR area. And she really encouraged me to go into that. It's definitely the right area. So I eventually became a CMO of a business and got a lot of experience right across how to market a really big business and smaller businesses and all of those touch points, really rolling up my sleeves and getting really involved. And the reason that's relevant is because I can really go into any business and tell them how to run their marketing. It's so relevant to what we do as a PR business. I then went and ran a business as a managing director, so I understand the commercials. Now, what does that all mean? That all adds up to somebody that can actually go in and run their own business. So I arrived at the point when I set up GingerMay knowing how to run a business. I didn't know how to do the IT, but that's fine because you get specialists in to do that. I learned how to do finance pretty fast, but everything else, nobody could pull the wool over my eyes. And that's the benefit of actually not going into a career straight away. So although it was wonky and perhaps, not really the route I'd originally set out to, it was absolutely the ingredients I need in that mix to actually create the career that I then eventually wanted to go into. I did know I wanted to run my own agency, absolutely. I think you have to be very, very driven to run your own business. You know, it's not as easy as people think. I knew it would be hard. It was 100 times harder than I ever thought it would be. The hours were horrendous, but really worth it. So, you know, I didn't have a holiday. Well, I still haven't really had a holiday without talking to clients at least every day. Christmas Day I get off. But the benefits are absolutely phenomenal. You get to work with the clients you want to work with. You get to work with the team you want to work with. You basically choose the direction of the business. And you really feel like you've achieved something. You're not doing it under somebody else's auspices or direction. It is all you. So you can stand back and go, I created this. Isn't this absolutely brilliant? So yeah, it's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I would never go back to working for anybody else again. I don't think anybody else would ever help me, actually. Not anymore. But yeah, absolutely brilliant experience. As an agency, GingerMay specialises in technology and IT PR. It's fascinating. So it probably isn't the sector that I would have chosen right at the beginning of my career, but actually now I'm in it, I would really not want to work anywhere else because it's just so interesting. The reason we came to specialise in that area is because of my background as a data analyst. So you do have to have a really good level of understanding of technology terms and be very granular and very rigorous about how you actually look at your copywriting and your content, because the types of people you're working with, they tend to be super smart. You know, a lot of them are MBAs from Harvard. A lot of them are really creating the new way of technology for the next 5 to 10 years. So doing things like Internet of Things, smart city technology. They're creating this technology that is going to be the way that we all live as human beings and the way we run our cars and our houses. So you need to be on the same level of them because you're actually creating the communication for their business. So yeah, definitely being a data analyst helped with us within that sector. I think emerging technology itself is so exciting. So it's not just what you're doing on your phone; it is absolutely everything around us. So yeah, I think what I possibly get most excited about is seeing technology that comes out and feeling like I'm in the gang, knowing that I'm actually researching things and understanding technology that perhaps my friends or my mum won't be actually looking at for the next 3 to 5 years. So makes you a very interesting person at a dinner party to be able to talk to. So as an agency, we have had phenomenal growth over the last few years, and it all been word of mouth recommendation. So up until I think last summer, 2017, we had you couldn't even find us. There were no articles, nothing about the business itself. Given we're a PR agency, I think that's quite interesting. But it didn't stop us, and we are continuing on that growth trajectory. And I think the reason for the fast growth is a couple of things. I think we have phenomenal client retention. So clients love us. We've still got our first 3 clients 8 years later, which I bet there's not many businesses that can say that. And also we retain our staff. So we really look after our staff and we listen to our staff. And on the subject of listening, I think if I could really round that up and say, what is it that makes us different? I think we are very, very good at listening and understanding everybody that we work with. So that's our clients, key stakeholders, and our staff. I reckon I spend probably 80% of my day just listening to what people are telling me about their business, about where they can see the industry going, about issues they're having within their business. And that all helps you to actually develop a program that can help meet their needs. And I think what's interesting as a society now, much more so than it was when I first started my career, is that everybody is overwhelmed with information. Everybody is trying to tell you something. You are overwhelmed from social media, from the news. There is information around you everywhere, and it's really, really hard to get cut through and quiet. What's really interesting is when somebody actually actively listens, and it is a real skill, and it was something that I was taught right at the beginning of my career, and it's probably the most important thing I ever learned, is how to listen effectively. And we teach it internally. We show our team how to listen properly to their clients and really understand it. And it pays dividends in terms of their relationships with their clients and each other, and their understanding. So I think that is something we're definitely known for. I would say the listening skills go outside the business as well. It helps you with your everyday relationships with your partners and your friends as well. So it's something I would actually have on the curriculum at school. It's such an important skill that people don't use anymore. So I also do quite a lot of business mentoring for companies that are coming up and wanting to expand. So I work as a mentor for London & Partners, and I work with companies that are coming through doing work in artificial intelligence or new emerging technology, and they want to perhaps expand to the US or Germany, and they want to really talk about their brand and their reputation, and I advise them on how they can build and engage with key stakeholders. It's really, really interesting. So one of the big trips I went on with London & Partners was with Sadiq Khan to New York, when he went out there to talk to businesses about coming to work in the UK. And it was the first time that a member of the British government had gone to the US after Brexit. So it attracted phenomenal press coverage, and it was across every major news network. And I was obviously part of that trip. It was really exciting to be there, and I was helping the businesses there, and we were helping to position Brexit within the environment at that time, which was quite early on, and I think there was a lot of negativity around, so we were helping the media message out there, which was really interesting, and then helping the businesses to actually message that back as well for themselves and for their businesses. I think mentoring in general is incredibly important. I mean, I was very, very lucky because I had a lot of people help me when I first started my business. In fact, I relied completely on people coming and helping me, and people come out of the woodwork and they genuinely want to help you. You know, it's a fantastic thing when you set a business up. If you tell people how vulnerable you are and that you do need help, they will step in and help you. And it was that drive that made me want to help as well. So now we're obviously an established business. We've got a big team and we are present overseas as well. Not only do I help kind of businesses that are coming through official programs like London and Partners, but I also help smaller businesses, just show them how they can grow their business and just shortcut to the easy answers. It's something that everybody needs to think about, either a mentor or a non-exec director. It will help them to achieve their business goals much, much faster. There is no such thing as a normal day, but actually I wouldn't have it any other way, because you never know what's going to be coming your way during the day, and it keeps you on your toes and keeps the job super exciting. The one thing I would say is I do start very early in the morning. I think it's very important for people that are running a business to figure out when they operate best. So lots of people operate well into the evening, and that's a well-trodden path with people working very, very late on work. I can't do that. I operate brilliantly in the morning. I'm literally like Tigger, jumping around at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I do all of my big ticket items that need lots and lots of concentration and focus. And it's brilliant. I crack through stuff. Nobody's ringing me up. Nobody's emailing me. I'm in my zone, and I can get things done really, really early in the morning. So that's a kind of set period. Is I have all of my I call it my golden couple of hours in the morning. I do meditate. I find meditation very important. It's a central part of what I do. I meditate for about an hour in the morning as well. Gives me lots of focus, keeps me very, very calm. So literally when everybody else is falling around, if it's a very stressful situation, I have a very clear head and I can always find the solution to the problem. And that, I would say, is a lot due to me doing the meditation. So that's something as well that has been absolutely brilliant. And then really, whatever happens for the rest of the day is, anybody's guess. I start doing calls with Asia very early in the morning with clients that are over there. And then the day is normally in the office, either meeting clients or meeting with staff. And then I will often go around till sort of later in the evening doing calls with the US, although I try to limit them because obviously I'm up quite early in the morning. So yeah, it can be all over the place, but it works really well. I would say the other thing is I have 2 young children, so I can make it work around them as well. So I'm always available. I have my phone with me. So technology for me has been an absolute door unlocker, because it allows me to be accessible to my clients. I can go and do the school run, and I can tell a client that I'll ring them back as soon as I'm back. They don't mind. They know that I'm on to the issue. They know that I'm available. I'm going to be thinking about it before I ring them. But in the meantime, get the children home and make that phone call. So yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm a working mum as well, and it does add another layer of stress, because obviously you're juggling 2 other people within that mix. But the fact that I run my business makes that possible. So I don't think I could do what I do and do as much as I do with my children if I wasn't actually in charge of the business, because I tip my working hours completely upside down and work it totally around being a mum and being there for the children, taking them to school, picking them up, working late into the evening if I need to, if I've had to spend time with them in the evening. And it's a practice that we do adopt throughout the business. So I let the working mums really dictate their hours and how they need to work, because it's got to work best for them. And what you get back from that, if you do that with working mums, is you get incredibly loyal staff, very, very motivated, because they know that not every company sees things like that, sees working practices like that. And it's really unfortunate that businesses don't, because they're hemorrhaging staff. So I think it's a horrendous statistic. Something like 40% of businesses across Europe don't have any women in their senior management team, which is just ridiculous, because women do bring such a diversity to that team. And working dads as well. Working dads also want to spend time with their children. Attitudes are changing, and they're changing fast. And I think from my perspective, if you're a company that's not embracing working parents, then you're really going to be left behind, because I think what will start to happen is that working parents will start to choose the businesses that obviously have got this more forward-thinking approach, and other businesses will get left behind. We're seeing a lot of Californian businesses, Silicon Valley businesses coming in that have got this more progressive approach to parenting at work. And they are setting the agenda, along with businesses like ours that actually have got, again, a broader perspective on working parents. So I am delighted it's going this way. It's about time. And I'm delighted that GingerMay has got 65% of working mums on its board. So it's a good message to get out there to say we've got phenomenal growth, we're a fantastically growing business, and a lot of that is due to the fact that we've got so many working mums and hopefully soon working dads on the board as well. So before I set up the business, I was a Latin teacher, a dance teacher, and it was a fantastic time. I used to go to London after work every day, and I still love to watch Strictly Come Dancing. So I think my ideal partner would be Ali Ash, because he's the only dancer on there that I don't pick holes in. It's very difficult when you've done something yourself for so many years. You get the celebrities on there, and you literally just spend your whole time picking holes in all their dance moves. So yes, I'd love to dance with someone like Ali Ash because he's fantastic.